students. Danny Jaber here with another teaching and learning update, the last one for this term, of course. First and foremost, before I start talking about the image that you see on the screen, just want to let you know that from next term, you will now hear bells at the end of lessons, and there will be some music playing to signal when it's time to start moving to lessons at the end of recess and at the end of lunchtime as well. We're not happy with what we've been seeing take place across this last term in terms of students arriving very late for lessons, quite often dawdling to lessons, not realizing the time, not realizing where they're supposed to be, leaving class early. And so we want to try and put an end to that. And we also understand that sometimes, we do lose track of time, and sometimes we do need a bit of a reminder of where we need to be and when we need to be there. So we think this is going to be a very useful tool for us. So the bells will signal, of course, the end of lessons and at some points the start of lessons. And then the music will signal those kind of 5-minute interludes we have to get from certain places to the next place. So for example, at the end of recess there'll be a 5-minute song playing, which means you need to get to your class by the end of that piece of music. The same for that break in between period 2 and 3, and then the same at the end of lunch times. So hopefully that makes things a lot easier for you, and then there's no more excuses for being late and for not realizing the time. Beyond that, then, just thinking ahead to the holidays and then looking beyond the holidays, we obviously get into crunch time now when it comes to Unit 3 and Unit 1 subjects, meaning that we're more than halfway through the unit of work, which means that SACs have already taken place, more SACs are coming up, and then we have our mid-year exams just before the start of semester 2 and the end of semester 1. And that applies to all Unit 1 and 3 classes, by the way. So there will be mid-year exams for every single one of those classes. We want to give you the experience to undertake those exams. We want you to experience what it's like in those conditions, and also it's more chance to practice your understanding and knowledge. Ahead of that, then, you need to start thinking about what you're going to be doing with your time and how you revise and how you break up that time, because time can be very useful, but it can be thrown away as well. And you want to make the most of that time and make it as effective as possible. And for me, that means that you don't necessarily sit there for 10 hours in front of a screen and a book and try to learn everything. What you do is you break up that time in order to reduce the loading on your brain. A concept called cognitive loading, which essentially suggests that we've only got a minute capacity for memorizing things, and particularly in today's day and age, whereby we get so much information in really short snippets. I consume things through Instagram, through Twitter or X, through really short videos and snapshots. Even my reading now doesn't tend to encapsulate an entire piece. It normally ends up being summarized for me, and because of that, my brain, which is a muscle, is no longer working as hard as it used to. As a result, we're not really as good at memorizing things as we used to be either. And in today's world, where you're still having to sit exams and you still need to memorize aspects of that material, unfortunately, you've got to train your brain to work around those restraints. And that includes how you revise. So this poster, as you can see on the screen now, talks you through a range of ways that you could break up your day, talks you through a range of ways that you can break up your revision. Why not give them all a go and then see which one works best for you? I know for a fact the Pomodoro technique, which is top left there, is one that works really well for me. I focus for a short amount of time, and then I give myself a bit of a break, and I go again, and I try and increase that amount of time that I'm focusing for if I can. But by giving myself that break, I'm allowing myself to reset. I can jump on my phone quickly if I want to, but I'm also able to throw it away and then concentrate again for that 25-minute period of time. So for me, that has worked really effectively. You might be a little bit different. It's worth giving everything a go. Anyway, revision starts now. Planning for those mid-year exams and those remaining SACs starts now. And then before you know it, we'll be heading into Unit 2 and Unit 4. We'll be talking about the end of year. We'll be talking about graduation, and we'll be talking about your end of year exams. So it passes quickly. Now is the time to get on top of that. Good luck. Enjoy the holidays, and of course, enjoy having a bit of a break as well.